Tonight, big discounts for Troy students.
Plus spring break safety tips. Stay tuned. Troy TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
A high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus with news from Troy University locations around the world. This is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for March 6, 2013. I'm Deandra Montgomery.
And I'm Bailey Majors. Thank you for joining us this evening. Starting tomorrow, Troy University students will have the chance to receive discounts at over 60 local businesses in Troy. Judson Garner has more.
For months of planning, a Troy University student discount card is going on sale this week.
You know, the Chamber of Commerce and I have been working daily just about to make sure this card is a reality, and to finally see it come to fruition is certainly a good day.
Both the SGA and the Chamber of Commerce hope this card has a significant impact on Troy's economy. And one way that the parties ensured that it did was the design of the card not only benefits students' wants, but also their practical needs as well.
It's a win-win for students because they're going to be able to receive a number of different discounts at businesses that are off campus that they would normally already go to. And for the businesses themselves, they're going to see an increased revenue from student participation in their business activities.
And most businesses that will use the student ID card will have signs posted just like this. Naturally, college students like their food, and one local restaurant that will be utilizing the Troy Go card is looking forward to seeing more students getting off campus.
If you were living on campus, you're very quarantined to certain areas. But if you have this Go card and you know you're going to get a discount, then you can go out in the area knowing that you will get a good deal.
And the Go card is not limited to restaurants. For a full list of businesses, students can go to the SGA page at troy.edu. The card will be on sale Thursday and Friday in the SGA office. Judson Garner, Troy TrojanVision News.
In addition, the Trojan Go cards will also be on sale in the Trojan Center the week following spring break.
And with spring break fast approaching, the Student Government Association had one Supreme Court seat that they needed to fill. And as Justin McNally shows us, the SGA feels they got the right man for the job.
In the last SGA meeting before spring break, the senators gathered in Howe Hall to discuss Higher Education Day and hear a proposal from the group SCOTA. But there was one piece of legislation that was attended to first.
And we also confirmed Lee Tatum to the Supreme Court. Very excited about that. Lee is going to replace George King, who was a long-time SGA member, and Lee's going to do a great job.
Being elected to the Supreme Court means a lot. I come from, like President Thompson said, a line of leaders at Troy University, especially in the student government. So it just means a lot to be able to serve the student body as a Supreme Court justice.
Tatum, whose brother served on the Supreme Court in the past, hopes to do his best and serve the university to his fullest potential.
So it just means a lot to be able to serve the student body as a Supreme Court justice, and I'm excited to be able to work with the student government directly and also get to work on like homecoming and things like that.
And what is he looking forward to the most?
I'm really looking forward to being able to help with homecoming because as an independent, you don't get to be really engaged a lot with homecoming. So being a part of that committee is what I'm really looking forward to.
Justin McNally, Troy TrojanVision News.
The SGA will meet again in 2 weeks in the Hall of Honor beginning at 6:30. Well, Bailey, while some students are preparing for spring break next week, one organization on campus is giving students tips or showing students tips on staying safe.
That's right, Deandra. The fence of Riddle Pace Field is covered with tips for students to see before they leave campus. Terry Yu has the story.
On Wednesday afternoon, each grade organization designed a banner to show students how to be safe during spring break. Greg advocating mature management of alcohol, or GAMMA, held the banner competition to show students some ways of making this spring break a safe one.
I think, honestly, this event really just publicizes for the entire university of how important it is to be safe when on spring break. I know a lot of college students, with college students, it's a lot of alcohol consumption, just different things with safety at spring break. And we wouldn't want a student to go off campus and something bad happen and them end up not back here.
And the judges were looking at the banners for creativities, but the winner will get points for another competition.
Now we have judges coming here to judge them based on a point system, and it will go through titles, first, second, and third place. And the overall points of those winners will go towards the Greek Week competition.
And what did some people think of these banners?
These are great banners. I think the wind is doing them an injustice because we had to cut a few holes in them and it's knocking some of them down. But for the most part, I think they did a great job. They're very creative and delicate with their artistic abilities with these, and I'm very impressed with our community.
It was really fun being out here. I get to work with the judges and see their opinions on all the banners because this was part of the Greek Week competition stuff. So it was really fun being able to see all of the different judges we had come out from our philanthropies and things like that to see the different banners and see their opinion on them, and all the organizations really put in a lot of effort and did a wonderful job on their banners.
Terry Yu, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The winner of the competition in the guys division was Alpha Tau Omega. In the girls division, first place went to Alpha Delta Pi.
And now taking that look at news from around the state. In Montgomery, a judge is extending an order preventing the governor from signing a private school tax credit bill. Circuit Court Judge Charles Price ruled today that a temporary restraining order will remain in effect until a court hearing on March 15th.
And in Midland City, a sheriff says a man accused of killing a school bus driver and taking a child hostage in an underground bunker had spent weeks planning the crimes. Dow County Sheriff Wally Olson says Jimmy Lee Dykes befriended bus driver Charles Poland weeks before gunning him down near Midland City.
And in Sheffield, police have charged 2 men with murder and a home invasion. Officers are still seeking another man and the woman they believe drove the getaway car. Detectives told the Times Daily that 3 men broke into the house looking for drugs and money.
And still to come on Troy TrojanVision Nightly News, a women's basketball player has received an honor from the conference. Danielle Percival will have the details ahead next in sports.
But first, while some states are experiencing cold weather, others are being bombarded with snow and power outage. We'll have more on that story after the break.
I'm Tara Merchiner in Washington, where a winter storm has forced the federal government to a grinding halt. The latest coming up.
Yo, check out this chef, right? Right? That's so gay. That's really gay. Dude, look at those pants.
Please don't say that.
What?
Don't say that something is gay when you mean that something is dumb or stupid. It's insulting. It's like if I thought this pepper shaker was stupid and I said, man, and this pepper shaker is so 16-year-old boy with a cheesy mustache. Just saying. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
I would tell anybody, if you're getting your master's, I would start with Troy first.
It's easy, you can take classes online, you take them on the ground.
Because being a full-time mom, full-time dad, and working full-time with Troy, it was just perfect. It worked for us.
On campus or online, Troy offers you an extraordinary education with the flexibility you need. Troy University, it's all you need to know.
We both earned our masters in public administration, and I choose Troy.
We choose Troy.
That's right, we choose Troy.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we'll go to Deatra Montgomery at the Global News Desk. Deatra.
Thanks, Bailey. Cardinals meet again today at the Vatican, but there's still no start date for the conclave to elect a new pope. The big talk today is that U.S. Cardinals are not talking to the press anymore. Danielle Nottingham has the latest from Vatican City.
Cardinals prayed for guidance inside St. Peter's Basilica. The so-called princes of the church are waiting for the final electing cardinal to arrive in Rome before setting a date to begin the conclave. Workers are busy inside the Sistine Chapel, turning Michelangelo's historic landmark into a polling site. These are the stoves that will burn the secret ballots after each round of voting.
We also saw a woman that was sewing some of the materials, the cloths, and the items that will be needed to cover the tables and also wall hangings in the Sistine Chapel.
And while the conclave preparations are moving along, there was an unexpected development at the Vatican. The U.S. Cardinals suddenly canceled their popular daily briefing. There were concerns that details from the Cardinals' private meetings would leak to the media, but the Vatican denies pressuring the Americans to keep quiet.
It is not up to us to judge what any of the cardinals are doing.
The controversy didn't prevent American Cardinal Timothy Dolan from holding his weekly radio show from Rome.
At this particularly delicate transition in the life of the Church, the College of Cardinals does need some time alone and complete confidence. But the danger is that that's interpreted as, having something to hide.
The Vatican did announce that a profile of the new pope is starting to emerge, but no other details were revealed about what qualities the Cardinals are seeking in their new leader. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Vatican City.
The mid-Atlantic states are getting hit with a late winter storm. Heavy snow is piling up in some parts of the region, while other areas have only seen flurries. Tara Mergener is in Washington, where government business came to a grinding halt.
Hardly any snow was sticking to the White House lawn, but the forecast was enough to shut down government offices in the nation's capital. Senator Patrick Leahy joked about the late winter storm during a hearing that wasn't postponed.
I realize we're under horrendous snow condition. I think it's up to ½ an inch now.
Leahy is from Vermont, where 6 inches of snow is a dusting.
5 or 6 inches down here, they'd be interrupting a presidential press conference.
The White House did cancel its daily briefing due to the so-called snowquester. The House of Representatives rearranged its schedule so members could try to get out of town. Flying was not really an option, with hundreds of flights canceled at Reagan National Airport.
The best thing that people in the city can do is to stay off the streets.
Salt and sand trucks were out in force to keep the roads from icing up. Some of Washington's monuments and museums stayed open, but the government snow day turned the National Mall into a ghost town. You're from Alaska. What does this look like to you?
Oh, this is nothing. This is like rain. I mean, come on. Everything's shut down, though, so I have the whole city to myself.
But more than a foot of snow piled up in parts of Virginia, and tens of thousands of homes and businesses lost power. Authorities shut down Maryland's Bay Bridge after powerful winds knocked over a tractor trailer. Tara Mergener for CBS News, Washington.
9 people die from asthma each day in the U.S. Now a new study looks at patients who have trouble controlling their condition and suggests possibly changing the way doctors treat them. Allison Harmelin has the story.
Excellent. You feeling all right?
Yes.
Amparo Rivera nearly died of an asthma attack last year.
The doctor had to basically put her fingers down my throat to keep my windpipe from closing.
Again?
Now she has 2 inhalers to control the condition. One she uses every day for prevention. The other is a rescue inhaler in case of an asthma attack.
Perfect.
Dr. Clifford Bassett says that's common practice in the U.S., but a new study in Europe, published in The Lancet, finds that combining both medications in one inhaler may be a better solution.
They were able to treat people effectively with one medication for inflammation and bronchodilation.
Patients in the study used the combination inhaler twice a day. If symptoms came on, instead of using a separate relief inhaler, they just took another puff off the combination inhaler. For patients with moderate or severe asthma, the single inhaler worked better than 2.
There was a 39% improvement in the reduction in asthma episodes. Excellent. Okay.
Serena Wang has had asthma most of her life. She has 2 inhalers, but would prefer just one.
I don't want to be carrying different inhalers around and doing 2 or 3 different medication or inhaler around every day.
But Dr. Bassett says the study results are still too new to change his practice.
We want patients to know if they have active asthma, they need to carry their rescue inhaler with them at all times.
Especially as we head into allergy season, which can be a dangerous trigger for asthma. Allison Harmelin for CBS News, New York.
And that wraps things up from the Global News Desk. To see more stories from across the country and around the world, you can tune into Trojan Vision Global News right after the nightly news. Now back to you, Bailey.
Thank you, Deatra. Now Danielle Percival joins us for a look at sports. So Danielle, we had a couple of Trojan athletic teams in action today. Softball was on the road.
That's right. The softball team was in action as well as the track team. And it's the middle of the week. We usually don't have that many Trojan sports that are going on currently, but we've got a lot to get into today.
All right.
After having both games from yesterday postponed to today, a 3-game series for the softball team has been cut down to 2. Troy lost to Middle Tennessee in their first conference game of the season 7-5 earlier today. It was a back-and-forth battle with the Trojans up early 2-0 before Middle Tennessee fought back with 3 runs in the third to take a 1-run lead. Troy took the lead again in the fifth off a Blue Raider error, making the score 5-3, but again, Middle Tennessee answered back, scoring 4 in the bottom of the fifth. But the Trojans did play a doubleheader today, and at last check in the second game, the Trojans picked up the win. The Trojans had the bases loaded in the 4th inning, and Caitlin Ortiz took advantage with the grand slam, the first for the Trojans this season, and put the Trojans up 5-0, which was the final. Both Trojan tennis teams were victorious over Jacksonville State yesterday afternoon. The women whooped Jack State 6-0. They only played singles matches due to the threat of rain, but that was all they needed, sweeping Jack State and making the doubles point unnecessary. The women are now 3-0 at home this year, but the men were not so lucky in avoiding the rain and had to wait nearly 2 hours to finish their match, but eventually they defeated the Gamecocks as well, 4-2. The men have won 2 straight as they get ready to head to Montgomery this weekend to take on Alabama State. And both golf teams finished out tournaments yesterday, with the women finishing in 3rd place for the 2nd tournament in a row. The women shot a 3rd best team low round of 296 yesterday in the final round of the 2013 Edwin Watts Kiowa Island Classic. Senior Sophia Bjorkman didn't have the smoothest finish, with 4 bogeys and 2 birdies to finish at 2 over, though it was good enough for a tie at 6th place for her 6th straight top 10 finish. And on the men's side, they were finishing action at the USF Invitational and finished in 9th place. Jake Tucker had his season best, finished tied for 14th, and his lowest round of the season with a 68, as well as his lowest 54-hole total of the season at 217. And the Trojan track and field team began their outdoor track schedule today with a meet in-state, the Jaguar Opener at South Alabama. 53 student athletes traveled with the Trojans, with 17 of them making their outdoor debut for Troy. Senior Larry Henry won the men's high jump for the Trojans, and the men's 4x100 relay team also took home the crown. Senior Morgan Paulson took the top spot in the 3,000-meter run, winning by over 20 seconds. After this meet, the Trojans will be in action over spring break at the Shamrock Invitational in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And for the women's basketball team, the star of the show has been Joanna Harden, and for her efforts, she's been recognized by the conference as All Sunbelt's 2nd team member. Harden averages 15.6 points per game, good for 6th in the league in scoring, and averaged 18.6 per game in Sunbelt contests. That was the 4th best mark in the league, and she also scored over 20 in 8 games this season. Her season high was 33 points against FIU, but her biggest contribution could arguably have been her 27 points in an upset of Middle Tennessee, a performance that earned her Sun Belt Player of the Week. That was the first time a women's basketball player at Troy had earned the honor. Harden and the Trojans will be back on the court for the Sun Belt Conference Tournament on Friday. Their first round game against South Alabama will be Friday at 2 p.m. So while we've got baseball and softball that are just getting into the heart of their schedule, we've got the basketball teams who will be wrapping up this weekend with the conference tournament. We wish them the best of luck as they will be heading out on the road very soon, and maybe they can win and get a little streak going and play into the conference tournament.
Absolutely. Best of luck to them, and congratulations once again to Joanna Harden.
That's right, and hopefully the softball team can continue this little streak that they've got going. Maybe they can build off this win from this afternoon.
Absolutely. Best of luck.
Thanks guys.
And still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, we'll show you how you can get involved in Troy's latest city project.
But first, the past 2 days have been cold and windy. What can we expect for the rest of the week, Courtney?
Well, Betty, it looks like those chilly temperatures might be in our area just a little bit longer, but they should be out of our area by the time spring break gets here. But I'll have more details coming up next in weather.
All right, guys, we gotta be smarter about what we bite on, okay? I want everyone to go outside. We're gonna run Red Rover on 3.
What about you, Tony?
I'm gonna run around in circles, flap my arms, and make engine noises like this.
When it comes to playing, we kids are the pros.
We're eating right, too.
we fuel up to play 60.
Your school doesn't have a program? Be a leader. Start one.
Click today and join the movement.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
Addison joins us for a look at weather.
Well, Courtney, we've seen really pretty days, really sunshining days, but we've seen a lot of wind, which makes the temperature feels really cold. What can we expect for the rest of the week?
Exactly. We've had sunny skies this past week, but the wind has been all the way gusting up into the high 20s. But it looks like that wind should be calming down in the next couple of days, but luckily the sun should be staying out. So hopefully it'll begin to feel a little bit warmer throughout the rest of the week. But I'll have more on that later. First, let's take a look at our campus snapshot.
All right.
Looking at our campus snapshot, it is very sunny outside. Not many clouds. It is really chilly outside. That wind, like DeAndre said, is still very active as of right now. And going into our current conditions, we have sunny skies. We had temperature coming in at 50, dew point at 27, humidity at 41%, barometer at 30.17 and steady, and the winds coming in from the north-northwest at 15 miles per hour. Looking at today's statistics, we had a high of 51, low of 31. There was no rain. Sunrise was at 6:05 a.m. and the sun should set at 5:45 p.m. And going into temperatures around the state, for the most part, everyone is seeing very sunny skies in the lower part of Alabama, with the exception of Huntsville and Birmingham. They are seeing cloudy skies as of right now. Mobile coming in at 59, Montgomery at 49, as well as Birmingham. Huntsville at 42, Troy at 50. Phoenix City at 49 and Dothan at 52. So temperatures are coming in the 40s and the 50s. Taking a larger look into the southeast, we see most everyone experiencing temperatures, a very wide range of temperatures, all the way from the 60s and into the 40s. If we look back towards the west, they are experiencing temperatures into Texas in the 60s. So hopefully we can see those warmer temperatures move into our area in the next couple of days, and we'll have a warmer start to our spring break. Taking a bigger look into the temperatures from around the United States, they're seeing very cold temperatures in the northern part of the United States, even some people experiencing temperatures into the teens, which was caused by the low front that they're experiencing at this time. Looking at our current surface map, if we look back towards the west, several pressure systems developing into the west, not having a whole lot of effect on our area right now. Here's this low pressure system that I was talking about right now that is causing significant temperature changes in the west. Taking a closer look into our area, we see this low front, which has moved through our area earlier in the week, which caused our temperatures to drop a significant amount and made us feel very cold temperatures. Looking at our precipitation forecast for the next 48 hours, luckily it should remain very clear in our area as well as the entire eastern part of the United States. But if we look back towards the west, they could be experiencing anywhere from half an inch to an inch of rain, and as well as snowy conditions in several states. Going into tomorrow's forecast, should remain clear in our area. A little bit of wind advisory in some parts of Texas. Going into Friday, we should remain clear in our area, so we should have a beautiful start to our spring break. But if you look back towards the west into Texas, they could be experiencing some rain conditions. Going into Saturday, should still remain clear into the weekend. And by Sunday, some of this rain has moved into the eastern part of the United States. Parts of Louisiana, Texas, as well as Arkansas are all covered in rain. But for our area, we should remain into the clear. Going into tonight's forecast, we have mostly cloudy skies with a few passing clouds overnight, with winds coming in from the north-northwest at 8 miles per hour, with winds gusting up to 15. So it is going to remain to be windy throughout the night with a low of 31. So it's going to be a very chilly night. If you're going to be outside, make sure you have a jacket or a blanket on hand. Going into tomorrow's forecast, it's going to be very sunny skies with a high UV index, with light and variable winds coming in from the north-northwest at 8 miles per hour and a high of 63. So it is going to be a little bit warmer tomorrow than what we had today. Hopefully that wind will calm down a little bit more. And looking at our 4-day forecast, we have Thursday coming in high of 64, low of 37. Friday high of 69, low of 42. Saturday high of 70, low of 50. And Sunday with a high of 74. So Yatra, Bailey, we have had that really cool temperatures today and the earlier part of the week, but hopefully by Saturday, Sunday, we're looking at the 70s again. So hopefully we'll have a beautiful start to our spring break. Everyone can get outside and enjoy the weather.
All right. Thanks so much, Courtney.
Thanks.